Santa's Best was the very first American company to pre-light a Christmas tree and make it available for the general public. And it changed the entire way we think of Christmas, because stringing lights on a tree has been difficult. This is called Starry Light. So when I start talking about lights on a tree, oh my gosh, we're talking about more lights than you've probably ever seen on a tree. The other factor is you always had to compromise. Did you want a tree with clear lights, or did you want the multicolor? And the fact of the matter is, people nowadays, we want it all. So watch what this tree can do. With easy power, it will be the easiest Christmas tree you have ever set up. And it uses these wonderful firefly lights that are just big enough to be very, very bright, but just small enough that they give you this glow. I want to introduce you to another friend. Dan, how are you, man?
Nice to see you.
Anybody who loves Christmas as much as this guy loves Christmas is invited to my house for the holidays. This is Dan Byrne from Santa's Best. I've got trees in 5-foot height. I've got 6.5. Behind me, I've got a 7.5. I've got a 9-footer. I don't have a room big enough for the handful of 12-foot trees that I do have, but not many.
Right.
12-foot is a size that few companies even take the time to make.
Yeah, we couldn't do it before this year.
Right.
And it goes together just like the rest of them with that easy power technology.
Okay, a 5-foot tree. A lot of people are saying, this year I'm going to downsize. When they're saying they're going to downsize, they're not talking about they're going to make things smaller.
Right.
They're just trying to reduce their frustration.
Right.
So maybe it is going to be a 5-foot tree, but shouldn't your 5-foot tree have every bit of the glory of a bigger tree? Are you hitting the remote?
I am. You know I can't help it.
Okay. Watch this tree. Watch them all. I got a forest behind me. Change in colors you've never seen on a Christmas tree.
Yeah, look at this beautiful multi, but you don't have to sacrifice anything with our LEDs. Everything is cool to the touch, and these gentle little points of light are married up our two biggest, our best technologies of all time with the Starry Light, and then with our color changing, there's 116 different functions in these. 116.
So the idea of just clear or multicolor now seems minuscule in comparison to what they can do. And you know, when you go to the big theme parks and they have these wonderful lighting displays, you'll have that in your living room. Everything from this cascading effect to fireworks to seeing a Christmas tree that now you can split into these wonderful color arrays. I know it's 4th of July, you know, season. This tree will do red, white, and blue on the same tree.
How about I show you that? Red, white, and blue, and let's put it on our fireworks here. And it literally looks like the 4th of July. How about Labor Day coming up? This tree is so customizable that you'll be able to have a little something for all types of the year, whether you want to go
This is a red and white, isn't it?
This is a warm white and a red, and it's in that fireworks setting.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, if you want to slow it down, put it on the glisten. It's so traditional Christmas, and with our warm white, which is a key tenet of our company, is that it's that color soft. It looks like it harkens back to the incandescent days.
I'm going to get one. These lights are very, very special lights. I'll tell you what, LED, light emitting diodes, have finally come of age for Christmas. They were a highly sophisticated, very low energy burning light, but they didn't look like warm Christmas lights. Santa's Best reinvented the entire structure of an LED. If you look closely, this one bulb is every color of the rainbow. Now he's got the remote control. Feel free, start playing.
There's our cool white. So we talked about the difference between warm white. This was the old LED, but there's a lot of people that like that. So we want to make sure you have that as an option. Red, a beautiful, rich red.
As our camera comes back and you see the forest of trees, look how wonderfully bright and beautiful that is.
And if it's too bright, we also have another ability. We have the ability to change the settings of the brightness. So we have 3 different settings, low, medium, high. And if you find, don't be worried about the 116 functions. Just have fun with it. Just play and find out which one you like best.
Now,
you know, is it the glisten and is it, you know?
Before they were a Christmas lighting company, they were a Christmas tree company. So their Christmas trees are extraordinary. We're talking about molded plastic tips that look just like a real tree. It's not just the lights that make a Christmas tree a Christmas tree. You know, the best designer of a Christmas tree will always be God. Mother Nature.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
You can't do a better job. So what they did is they just copied it.
That's right.
And you get this wonderful tree. But I want you to consider, every one of these lights is strung by hand.
Right.
On their 5-foot tree, there's 600 lights.
I mean, you and I have been doing this for
That's
a long
insane.
time. When were
That's
we able to
incredible.
get that on a 9-foot? We weren't.
No.
We weren't, because you'd have, like, you
Yeah.
know, a massive hazard on your hand with all the plugs. This is literally together in just one bladed plug.
In our 6.5-foot tree, there's 1,150 lights. We step all the way up to 1,700 lights for a 7.5-foot. If you're stepping up to our 9-foot, which I only have one room in my house where a 9-foot tree would even fit.
Right.
And I have a Santa's Best tree in that room, and I love it. And this one has 2,800 lights on it. If we step up to the 12-foot, we've never been able to do a 12-foot. I don't even have one on display.
Right.
My roof isn't big enough in this room. That's 3,500 individually stranded lights.
Amazing.
What's the energy bill going to be?
You know, even for the 12-foot, for the entire season, it's less than $2.50 to light.
For the season.
For the season.
So
incredible.
even Scrooge like me.
Right,
It's like,
right.
$2.50.
That's like a third of a cup of coffee these days.
And look at what you can do. And if your question has been, wow, that's such beautiful trees, they must therefore be difficult to set up. No. No, this is the only item I've got, by the way, in the entire show where I have free shipping and handling. And it's the most expensive thing in the show to ship.
Absolutely, yeah. So all the trees, except for the 12-foot, come in one box.
Right.
The 12-foot does come in 2 boxes. We want to make that sure, you know, no box is too heavy.
Right.
And you'll notice the profile of this tree, because I do want to talk about that a little bit.
It's a skinnier tree. Let me rephrase it. It's a skinnier tree in terms of its width, but it is not a skinny tree in terms of its...
Oh, you stepped on the pedal. I was
I
wondering
did.
what... Oh, that's all right.
I did step on the pedal.
Well, by the way, that's another feature, an on-off foot pedal. Just make it easy
But
for you.
it isn't thin in terms of the number of boughs and the number of greeneries and the number of tips. It's just slimmer in size, but much fuller, thicker.
And that's we're calling it our designer profile, because it's the
Oh, yeah.
hottest trend that you're seeing out there right now in all those high-end magazines. So you have your starry lights, but just because we have a little bit narrower of a profile, and mind you, just a little bit narrower, we make it so that it's manageable. So like on our 7-foot tree, it's 44 inches wide at the base. So 52 inches on the 9, but that means you could put it in a foyer and it's not going to be kissing the front door.
This is the evolution of what people wanted in trees. And I've got to tell you, it took years to get to this point.
Right.
It took a wonderful number of years to be able to give you a tree where every choice that you could ever think of is already granted to you. And it goes up in a matter of just a few moments.
Yeah.
In fact, you want to build a tree?
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, we're going to go over here and build a tree, and I'll tell you
So
what.
this is easy power technology. What that means is that all the power is safely housed in this pole here, and you'll see you got 3 sections. This is the 7.5-foot I'm putting together.
One plug. That's
plug.
all you need.
So you'll get
It used to be, Dan and I remember this day, when we sold Christmas trees, they came with 1 or 2 power strips.
Right.
Because you might have as many on a 7.5-foot
Do
tree.
you remember that was a nightmare?
12 plugs to plug in.
We're plugging the branches in. I mean, there's so far that we've come along with the convenience, but you'll notice this sturdy X stand. We even put rubber feet on there so to make sure your floor is okay. So this is section A. You're just going to line up the pole right here with the base. And now watch this.
And
this
by the
is
way,
the magic.
when this thing flops, 90%, floofing is actually a Christmas term.
Floofing is, yes.
It's in the industry, that's how you,
zhuzhing. Yes.
It's already done. So once you plug it in and it lights up, it goes through this flashing of different colors.
Right.
Because the brain of the tree is saying, okay, I'm reaching out and shaking hands with the electricity. Want to make sure we're good. Now watch this. This is really cool.
Yeah, and mind you, you could tell I'm not lifting weights on the side. This is only 12. This is only 12 pounds. And you'll see that's where the power is. There's no lining up bladed plugs or anything. It does not go in any wrong way.
It's not slot A, tab B.
Exactly.
Whichever way you put it out, watch, and it will boop
and then
light up.
Yep, and then it lights up.
It lights up in one color for the brain to run through its test session.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
and then that'll marry up with the other color.
That's
in just
exactly
a bit.
right. You see how it does that?
And there's your third section. So you just put the tree together. I mean, you and I were kibitzing, so you know, a minute and a half.
That's it.
And look at this greenery. Look how many molded tips are. That is, in my estimation, the most beautiful tree that you have ever brought me. Bar
Absolutely.
none.
We're so proud of this because we've been able to take everything that we've been working on, our
Yep.
technology, but we start at the base of the greenery, because your tree is not always going to be lit. So we added these, over half of this tree, those molded branch tips.
And these molded tips, it's so difficult to do. There's no machinery in the world that you can put the ingredients to make this tree into a hopper and spit the tree out the other end.
Right.
This is all done by hand. And if you look at these tips, the actual, you can see where the branch is, where the brown is for that individual twig. Do you see that?
It's like the veining, like
That's
the
how
vein
much.
you see on
Look at
branch
that. There's the brown. That's all molded out of one part of plastic. That's how much dedication they have. This would fool a dog.
Right. I know you're a pet lover, so hopefully not your dog. But the beautiful part is the stringing of the lights too. We have on this tree to have 1,700 lights, and there's no lights that are visible. Look, you don't see
wire,
strings. They all marry nicely together.
And I love that, we've bragged before about how we bring the lights out to the edge of the tip. And that's been good in the past. There's just so many more lights in this tree that they can bring them out to the tip and then bring them to the center as well. So it gives this wonderful glow for the tree. Let's bring our lights down and go play.
Yes.
For a minute. I got 40 seconds. Our pricing on this is unheard of. $262 for a 5-footer, $409 for a 6.5. That price of $514 for the 7.5, $839 for a 9-footer, and for those of you who need it, we've never done a 12-foot tree before. It's $1,469. And by the way, if you're saying, that's a little more expensive, yes, I freely admit. But you're getting a 5-year warranty on the tree, and the tree is stunning, beyond belief stunning.
Yeah, all these branches have memory too. So you get it home. If you need to do a little bit of zhuzhing or fluffing, just go ahead and do that, because they are all posable and it has memory wire. So that's an upgrade, and it means it's just going to fall into place after.
If you like clear, we've got clear. Believe me. If you love multicolor, we've got multicolor. If you love every color, we've got that too.
Red,
all
green, blue,
within
purple.
the same tree.
It's just so much fun and
so
enjoyable.
cool, buddy.
It's always great to see you.
Continued success for what you do.
Thank you.
Dan and I had a long talk today. I'm so excited about what the future is for Santa's Best, and you just do it so well. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Coming up from Kringle Express, we're going to be talking about these wonderful